At March 14th at 4 o'clock in the morning, we got not a knock, but a bang on our door. And of course, when you get woke up like that, the first thing that runs through your mind is something with your kids. And I ran downstairs, and there was a police officer at our door, and he came in and said that our son had been involved in an accident. And the whole gamut of emotions flood through your system. And first of all, it's denial, because my son was home. But we found out later that he had snuck out for the night. When they took him out of the car, he wasn't breathing. And one of the officers told us he never expected JD to make it to the hospital. Upon hearing that he was in an accident, we scrambled, filled with all kinds of emotion and thoughts and things, not knowing what the situation was or even how he was doing. We sat for hours not knowing if he was going to live or die. Then we found out from one of the emergency room techs that they never expected him to make it out of the emergency room.
And he was in a coma for about 7-8 days, something like that.
And in ICU for 10 days. After 10 days in ICU, they moved him to a private room in the neuropsych ward, and 3 or 4 days there, then we moved him to St. Luke's to start going through rehab. After 4 or 5 days at St. Luke's, he finally, as they say, woke up. He finally came where he was conscious of what he was doing and saying. Obviously didn't remember anything about the accident. So after 3 weeks at St. Luke's, then we started outpatient physical, speech, and occupational therapy, which he's still doing to this day. It's been 4 months today, and we have a long ways to go. It feels like 4 years, but he's incrementally progressing. Some things that kept us going during those really dark days, and there were many to start with. For me, verses ran through my head. Obviously Romans 8:28. I knew that all things are going to work out for good, no matter what happened.
Every circumstance is an opportunity to know God better. And that kind of steps one step further with Romans 8:28. You know, all things work together for good. So that means all of these situations are an opportunity.
We had so many people showing us through that time affirmation, prayers, cards, gifts, visits, and people trying to uphold us, to give us the strength that we needed during a time when we couldn't sleep and not knowing what's going to happen to your son.
Probably the hardest for me is letting go what was and accepting what is. Because things aren't the same, and that's where the emotional and all that, the essence of that is that you have to grieve what is gone and keep what is here.
It is still tough. Even today, there's days that are still very emotionally draining.
And not to say that some of those ugly emotions and things, that you're always joyous or always at peace, you're not in a situation like this. But you have to be honest with those when they come.
Yeah.
And you go to the source of the help, which is the Lord. And you cry out and you're honest with Him. And He just scoops you up.
Are we happy about the situation? No. But will we go on and be joyful about life? Yeah. We're so thankful we have our son. We're thankful for every day we have with him. And we thank God for using the people that He used and for using the situations for His glory.